So hello everyone, my name is Angelina Manuel. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am the president of HESA for this year. I would like to start off this meeting by thanking everyone for being here today, including faculty and students. I think we can all agree right now that it's been a really stressful time, especially this year. And I hope that in this hour, everyone finds a little bit of comfort in meeting some new people, meeting new faculty, meeting new students, and also having some fun along the way as well. We do ask that everyone please be respectful by keeping their mics off, and we will be monitoring the chat box and any reactions during this meeting. So if you do have a question, you can drop that in the chat or raise your hand and we will call on you. We will also be recording this mixer, as I said it before, and we'll be posting on our social media sites. So if anyone is uncomfortable with having their face shown, you guys are more than welcome to turn off your cameras. I'm now going to pass it on to the rest of the cabinet to introduce themselves. Denisha?
Hi everyone, my name is Denisha. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm the Vice President of HESA this school year. I would also like to mention that we are working to launch a peer mentorship program within the public health major next semester. If you would like to stay updated and are thinking of participating in the peer mentorship program, please fill out this short survey. It should take you no longer than 5 minutes, and I'll be posting this survey in the chat. Now I'll be handing it off to Akash.
Hello, everyone. I'm Akash Sharma. My pronouns are he, him, his. I am this year's Director of Alumni Affairs. I am the Chief Editor of The Educator, which hopefully you guys all read. And I am also going to plan the Alumni Fair, and I will also be hosting it. And so hopefully you guys can attend, and I'd love to pass it on to Jay.
Hello everyone, my name is Jay Rodriguez. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I'm this year's HESA Director of Community Outreach. So basically I'm in charge of creating community events for the students of the Public Health Department. And I also run our social media, so if you ever want to stay up to date with what we're doing, you can go ahead and give us a follow on Instagram, which is hesa.sfsu. And I'm going to pass it off to Stephanie.
Hi guys, my name is Stephanie Pham, and my pronouns is she, her, hers. And I'm the Director of Executive Administration. My role is to keep record of all of the activities of the organization, such as the Cabinet and General Board meeting. Also, I'm responsible for creating an organized calendar with all the HESA events, including this one. And the monthly calendar will be included in the Educator for everyone who wants to know what events are going on each month. I'd like to pass it on to Sam.
Hello, everybody. I am Samantha Molina. I am this year's Director of Finance. My duties are to make sure we have good fundraisers, to have some good money coming in for the HESA Club so that we can have good events to put on for you and have nice things to have for you for the rest of the year. I would like to take this time to introduce our faculty that is joining us today. I want to start off with Vincent Lamb. Then there is Marty Martinson. Atina Delfino, okay, and then we also have Jessica Wolin, Vivian Chavez.
So Vincent, if you could say your name, pronouns, and what class you teach.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Vincent Lamb. My pronouns are he, him, his. I have the privilege of teaching Public Health 290, Promoting Positive Health. I see some of my current students here. Great to see y'all. And then in other semesters, I've also taught community organizing. But I also have the great privilege of advising HESA, so it's been really great to support these leaders and really being able to see this as a space for us to kind of create community. So I'm really happy to see faculty and students here, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Vincent. Marty?
Hello, everyone. Great to see you all. I love that Angelina started by saying something about welcome to the faculty meeting. I wish faculty meetings were this fun. This is great having everyone here. This is wonderful. It's good to see you. I am currently chair of the department. Unfortunately, since I became chair a year ago, I haven't been able to teach at the undergraduate level. Prior to becoming chair, I taught every one of the sequence courses, not all at once, but in different semesters. So I'm very familiar with many of the courses that you've taken across the curriculum. And I also teach in the graduate program, the Culminating Experience course. And it's just wonderful to be here. My pronouns are she, her, hers.
Thank you, Marty. Atina?
Hello, I'm Atina Delfino. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I currently teach 425 research methods for the first semester undergrad students. I've also taught lower division courses and have been with the department for quite a number of years. So I'm so happy to see all these familiar faces and look forward to this. Thank you.
Thank you, Atina. Jessica?
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for hosting this event. I teach in the graduate program and the undergraduate program. This semester, I'm teaching 431, which is program planning. And I look forward to having many of you next semester in that class as well. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jessica. Vivian?
Hi, I am Vivian Chavez. And my name, like Cesar Chavez, is a community organizing name. So that's what I teach. And I can't see you. And now I can't even see myself on the screen. So I don't know how we are doing community like this, but right on.
You're doing the best we can. Okay.
All right, thank you, faculty. I'd like to take this time to run through the agenda for today. Our first activity will be the community building activity. The second will be our question and answer session. By the end of this mixer, I hope your goal is to be able to name one faculty member and one career path option that public health can take you.
So basically now we're going into the Q&A section of our event. So these are questions that have come from the students of the public health department, and we're going to be asking them to the faculty.
Awesome. So we have 5 of you here, and I believe we're going to try and do 1 question per professor. So the first question I'm going to ask for Vincent is, if you had the power to change any event in history, past or present, what would it be and why?
Easy, the 2016 election outcome, just hands down. I just feel like it just seems so relevant, so real, and we know why, because our major can speak to social injustices that are happening, intersectionality that's not being honored, and how we're not being able to be well in these social conditions, these social determinants of health. So, and I'm being a nerd, a public health nerd, and integrating all these things that you're learning because it's super real. So, but yeah, I would say that. Great question.
Most definitely, I agree with that. I believe that the presidential, the next, what's it called? Shoot, now I can't remember the name of what it is. The question stuff. Yeah, the election.
Debate.
The debate. Yes, sorry, took me a minute, but the debate I believe is tonight, and hopefully there'll be more muting of mics.
Remember to vote, everybody. Now that we're on the topic, remember to vote.
Yes, please do remember to vote. Next up, we have, I believe Denisha is asking the next one.
So to Marty, have you ever failed any classes in college?
Okay, did I fail any classes? I didn't get an F, but I actually fell off a chair at the end of a semester about 2 weeks before the end, maybe 3 weeks before the end of the semester, and ended up in the hospital. I was cleaning my closet. It was around the time I was coming out too, which was sort of interesting that I had this accident falling out of my closet. But anyway, I ended up being in the hospital, and so I couldn't take my finals. And I was able to kind of make up everything except one class, and I didn't take the final. And I thought I was going to fail, but the instructor decided just to give me the grade that I had before the accident. So I didn't end up failing the class. So let's hear it for compassion. So no, I didn't fail any classes.
That's a very nice and understanding professor that you had.
Okay, this is for Atina. What made you choose to, go to the public health field?
It chose me. How's that? I was working on campus and I was working in the department and as a staff member. And then I chose to get my graduate degree, and I focused around education and public health. I was a sociology undergrad, criminal justice. So it kind of was just the natural progression of like-minded thinking. So that's how I got into public health and teaching it. And I just want to add, just because what class did I fail? I failed Math 124 at San Francisco State, which I find interesting since it's a prereq for the course that I currently teach. So I'll just throw that out there. But yeah, that's how I got into public health.
Cool.
That was very validating, the fact that you failed that class. Like, I'm sorry you failed a class, but it was nice to hear. So thank you for sharing.
Yes, yeah, I did. I ended up passing Psych 171. So it's just all the way of thinking.
That was very reassuring. I have to say yes.
Makes me feel a lot better now.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So this next question is for Jessica. What field in public health do you specialize, and why did you choose it?
Okay. So when I have a master's degree in public health, and I also have a master's degree in city planning. And in public health, I went to school in health policy and administration was the focus that I had in graduate school. And I got my other master's degree in community development. And I'd say I work in the arena of public health that's about planning programs, implementing programs, evaluating programs, and working with communities to address their needs and to do research about their own needs. So that's what I like to work on. And I didn't fail a class, but I had to drop out of school for a period of time because I was so stressed out and fell apart and had total mental health issues, physical health issues. And so I actually left school because I was gonna fail a whole bunch of classes. And I sort of got myself back together and came back to school after a little while. So I would have failed a whole bunch of classes if I hadn't tried to take care of myself. So it's a great question.
Thank you for sharing that. And I'm glad that you're able to take care of yourself, because I think that's really important.
I was. Thank you. And so I have much compassion for all of you as you are trying to make your way through school and how hard it can be.
I'd like to ask this next question towards Vivian. Vivian, what would you do if you weren't a faculty at San Francisco State?
I have to read the little sign that says, the host has spotlighted me. Thank you. I would teach yoga. I actually love teaching dance to seniors. And I have found that then young people also can move all in sync. And I've enjoyed very much teaching movement. It brings people together. And even on Zoom, I've been able to teach, and it makes people feel really good and makes them smile, and they are nicer to themselves. And so that makes them nice and healthy for society as well. So yeah, I would teach that.
Thank you so much for sharing. Honestly, I love yoga, and if you do plan to teach younger students, I would love to join.
Okay. All righty.
All right, this question is for Vincent. What previous events lead you to teach at SFSU?
Great question. I have a long relationship with SF State. I graduated undergrad psychology major, minor in Asian American studies. I did my master's in public health here at SF State also. I left for maybe a year, and then I came back as a health educator at Counseling Psych Services, and then health promotion and wellness, and then found my way back to the Department of Health Education, now public health. So I think for me, it's just being able to, those connections, the essence of community really helped me to stay within SF State. I tell everyone I'm a full-blooded Gator, proudly. And for me, it's all the culmination of those experiences as being a student organizer, really finding ways to apply, being a peer health educator, finding ways to kind of connect the things that I was passionate about. And it just naturally led me to public health. And really, as a health educator, it really just inspired me as I saw people are able to learn from that experience. I felt that in a classroom, you have a captive audience every week. So being able to find another way to kind of engage students and inspire people to learn about health, especially when it means representing a different way of learning about it. And for me, I'm all about integrating pop culture, culture in itself, identity, and those intersections of how we understand our relationships with health and the world. So for me, I'm only a product of those folks that supported me. I stand on the shoulders of all the folks that came before me and the professors that mentored me. So it's been really great to kind of come full circle and be able to hopefully inspire folks and be able to be inspired to go into the workforce of public health and also build these strong connections to SF State as an experience too. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing, and I can totally relate to that, where it's like you can make connections and you learn more through the connections and the experiences you go through, which builds you in a different direction than what you thought you wanted to do. 100% agree, because I'm in the same boat, and it's nice to hear that, like, that's how people find their route, you know? Thank you for sharing.
And the next question, I believe, is going to be for Marty. And the question is, what kind of opportunities have you gotten to be a part of while you were an undergrad and then also after undergrad?
I was an undergrad a long time ago, so let me think about this. Opportunities when I was an undergrad.
If not an undergrad, you can also say just like anything in your life that's giving
Yeah.
you like an opportunity in the public health field.
Yeah. Well, I kind of like thinking about this going back as an undergrad. My undergrad degree was in women's studies and sociology. I was a double major. And I was also very much a part of my life I was on the intercollegiate volleyball team.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, which was really a big part of my college experience along with my school. And I think I have this vision of somebody was making a documentary about athletes. I went to UC Berkeley as an undergrad. And I remember sitting in a very sunny spot under a tree with somebody who was interviewing me about what it meant to be a student athlete. And I remember, I don't know what I said, but I remember sort of talking about the integration of the team experience, the athletic experience in a very, in a feminist environment, and how I was sort of integrating my understandings in sociology and women's studies as I was participating in women's athletics. And it was a time when women's athletics was going through some different transitions. And so I think the opportunity I had was to bring my heart, my head, my body, my spirit all together in my experience as an undergrad. I didn't really see my classes as separate from my athletic experience or as separate from my social life, but it really, as I think back on it, it was this, sort of mélange of me learning who I am and discovering who I am, and everything from coming out as a lesbian to getting involved in different political activities on campus, particularly through feminist organizations on campus. But I think that's kind of how I would answer that, was I got to explore, discover, lean into, try on different parts of me all at the same time. And that was a real opportunity to get to do that.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that sports really does give you that opportunity and like open the door to like see like firsthand what it's like in that atmosphere, in that environment. I completely agree.
I also agree with that. And I think it's really important for everyone to step outside of their comfort zone and explore themselves, even though that's hard to do, especially with the pandemic. But we're all hanging in there and we're doing the best that we can. So thank you for sharing, Marty. The next question goes out to Atina. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your undergrad self? And this question can also be open to any other professor as well.
Good question. Go back in time, what would you tell your undergrad self? I would tell my undergrad self, I was pretty tough on myself. So I went out of high school, I went straight to a community college full-time for 1 year, and then took a semester off, right? And didn't go back, I'd say, for about 4 or 5 years after I had my daughter. So I was going to school, working full-time, really pushing myself, challenging myself, and I wouldn't give myself a break. Like I wasn't kind to myself. I was very hard on myself. So if I could go back in time, I would change that narrative, because you know, I didn't have a lot of confidence in my abilities and you know, so that made the challenge of going to school, you know, mom, full working and doing school all at the same time. I had the balance to it, but I wasn't a priority in that balance. So I think I would go back and tell me to be nice to myself and make myself a priority so that I could just be healthier about it. I don't know if that really answers the question, but.
I think so. Thank you so much, Atina. That was very honest. And I think that a lot of us can really relate to that answer as well, too. Does any other faculty want to answer this question?
I can say something about that because I have different thing. So I have, I guess, 2 totally different unrelated things. One is, I guess I would have asked, so I said about I had a really hard time when I was in college with my like mental health. And I think I would say to myself now, ask for help, because I didn't do a good job of asking for help and tried to hide how hard a time I was having. And I think it showed up in my classes, and it showed up in my friendships, and it showed up in a lot of ways. And I would have done a lot better if I had come forward and asked somebody for some help. So that's one thing. And totally on a different note, I would have stopped. I would tell myself, don't use big words that you don't know what they mean. Don't try to sound like somebody you're not. Don't think when you use words like empowerment and you don't know what it means that you sound smart. You don't sound smart. I would have said to myself, be you and say what you know and have faith in yourself, and don't try to be somebody you're not. It's okay to be you. And then it's okay to not know things and learn what you can learn, and don't try to put on a show for people because it's BS. And those things probably go together, the mental health issue and the trying to be something you're not and all that. So I think that's what I would have said to myself. And I guess I would have also said, it'll work itself out, but it might not be the way that you expect it to. What's coming.
Thank you very much, Jessica. I really do. I do appreciate the touch about mental health, especially too. I know that for myself, especially I got a lot of help starting, I think, my freshman year when I came to college. I personally went after help as soon as I got in here. So I really appreciate your message.
I want to just say how grateful I am for this. Actually, this is really reassuring, and I guess it is empowering what you guys are saying, because I feel normal. I feel like I'm okay. Like things are gonna be okay now. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, I think this advice is something that a lot of students are going through right now. I know I'm going through trying to be someone that I'm not. And that really, your words of wisdom really helped me, Jessica. So thank you.
I'm so glad. You all are totally great, all the way you are. And it's okay to need help, and it's okay to ask us for help as faculty who care about you. And I'm gonna actually put in the chat, just in case all of you don't know, I'm gonna put some information about where on campus you can get help for basic needs, if you need help around food or housing, if you need help around money, or if you need help around your mental health. I'll just drop it into the chat. So if anyone needs that, you can access it.
That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jessica. We really do appreciate that. And then I believe we have one last question in the chat box. If Akash, do you want to ask it?
I'd love to. Okay, so this is what I'm asking. Okay, so this is going to Vivian. Okay, so what advice would you give yourself to the new public health cohort to help them exceed in the field?
Well, first of all, you're at a really good time in the trajectory of the planet to be exactly where you are, because the world is changing rapidly, and it was already changing. So it's really accelerated to the point where we don't really know what's going to be happening in 20 years. All those people who give predictions, who say this is a job market and all that kind of stuff, they don't know, because so many things haven't even been created. And so I would just say, you are creative. If you feel like you want to be passive and just receive things, then you're going to be left behind. You have to adapt, you have to change, and you have to create. You have to make stuff. You have to participate in the reality that we're living, and be in it. And that's why I advocate very much these self-care techniques, because if you do not honor your body, your needs, then you can't listen to what's going on, because we're not really being told everything that is happening, but our destiny is set, that what is right in front of us is exactly where we need to be. So this is why it is like really blowing our mind, to teach and to learn. It's almost like with our eyes closed, walking in the dark, because you don't see who is with you with all the little black boxes and Zoom, or a lot of people take classes asynchronous. They prefer that. So, but they're connecting through words, through dialogue on their own time, and they're learning things and acquiring all this skill set to be ready to whatever is going to come your way. And when it comes, then you can address that in the present moment, whatever is happening. So yeah, my advice for you is the same advice I give myself. Do not be crushed, never give up, and stay in the game. Just see what, don't go to sleep. A lot of times we want to be distracted and entertained, but if we go to sleep, then we're not gonna be able to participate in whatever formation the world is taking. So those are my words.
Thank you very much. That was very powerful. That was amazing. Thank you so much.
And I believe we have one last question left in the chat box.
So I'm gonna ask a question, and I'll leave it to any of the faculty to answer. What organizations would you say would be good to start an internship for public health?
I have like a lot of love for the Berkeley Media Studies group. So Google that, Berkeley Media Studies Group, because sometimes they have internships, but all the time they have a fantastic website that is analyzing and critiquing the news, and they're also connected to something called the Public Health Institute, and that Public Health Institute has lots of projects all over, not only in the Bay Area, but nationally and internationally. So Public Health Institute and also Berkeley Media Studies Group. Oh, and then one last one. Somebody already talked about youth media and the YR radio or youth radio or youth media. They have their own building on 17th in downtown Oakland. I don't know how they are doing their work. You know, I don't know if they're working there with their masks or how they're doing work, but they're creating content on YR Media.
Thank you, Vivian. And Jessica?
Can I add? Yeah, can I add something to this? So, so I want to say a couple things about this. So the first thing I want to say to you is there is no there isn't the right public health job. There are many, or internship. There are many ways to work in public health. Everything from working in a community nonprofit, like some of the organizations Vivian's talking about, Berkeley Media Group, or working in a community clinic, working in organizations that are based in communities. That's one kind of option. Another kind of option is working in a place like a health department in local government. And there's health departments. We have 9 counties in the Bay Area. All of them have health departments. All of them are great places to get internships and to work. Then there's places like Kaiser and other large institutions. And then finally, there's the whole arena of for-profit, which is like working in a tech company or a company that's focused on health and wellness. And I really want to say to all of you that there is no right public health job. There are lots of ways to be in this field. And so what really matters is the kind of difference you want to make in the world, the way you want to show up in this field. And for some of you, that's going to mean you need to have a job that makes a decent amount of money, or it needs to be near your family, or it needs to be accommodate the fact that you have a kid, or it's your passion and it's a population you want to serve, or it's about your community. And all of those reasons are the perfect reason to have the job that you might have or the internship. And so I just really want to reassure you that there isn't a right way to be in a public health job. And I think that's more important almost than what's the right, like what's tell me a great organization, like, is to reassure you that that there are many ways to be in this field.
Thank you so much, Jessica, for those words. I know that I am currently looking for some like volunteer work and some like internships as well. So that's really good advice, especially like while I'm looking. Thank you so much. I believe that now, since we are getting close to the end, we're going to start to close out. Stephanie?
My cabinet and I would like to thank everyone for coming today. I would also like to thank the faculty for contributing to this event. Before everyone leaves, I would like you guys to fill out this survey. It will be posted on the chat, and it should not take longer than 5 minutes. But before you leave, we would also like to take a picture for our Instagram. If you would like to keep your video on, you may.
Okay, I got all the pictures. Thank you so much for letting me take it. I'll be posting this on the Instagram, so if you want to go see yourself on there. But thank you for sharing space with all of us. This is really nice.
Yeah, thank you everyone for being here, all the students. I know that some of you have class that you have to go into right now. Thank you all for being here and being present with us. And please do follow our HESA Instagram for upcoming events and for our next general members meeting next month as well. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Please don't forget
Thanks,
the feedback survey. Thank you.
That was awesome.
Bye. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed.
We enjoyed. Thank you.
Bye.
We enjoyed.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone. That was awesome.
Thank you,
Really
Marty.
great. Yeah, fabulous.